Elon Musk stood at the podium, his usual charismatic confidence tempered with a solemnity that sent waves of anticipation through the packed crowd. This wasn't a typical Musk speech. No bold declarations of space missions or grandiose plans for AI domination. This was something more personal, more profound. "I was an African before I became a citizen of the United States," he said, his voice steady, cutting through the buzzing energy of the room. The audience fell silent, hanging on his every word. "The U.S. accepted me because I am rich and intelligent, but they would have rejected me if I had nothing." Murmurs rippled across the room. The words were shocking, unprecedented. Elon Musk, the billionaire tech mogul, the face of innovation and entrepreneurship, was questioning his loyalty to the country that had given him everything. But what came next would be even more earth-shattering. "I've decided," Elon continued, his gaze unwavering, "I will leave the United States. I will stop working for the U.S. I will work for Africa and Africa alone." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. There was a collective intake of breath, followed by a stunned silence. Was he serious? Was this another one of Elon's signature stunts? Or was there deeper meaning behind his declaration? The silence gave way to a frenzy of questions, but Musk raised a hand, signaling for calm. He wasn't finished. "I've made my fortune in the land of opportunity, but now it's time to give back to the land that birthed me. I will devote the rest of my life to Africa, to its people, to its potential," he declared with fiery conviction. "The United States will always be a part of my journey, but Africa is my future. I have come to realize that the wealth I've amassed, the technologies I've developed, these are not meant for a single nation, for a select few. They are meant for the world." The crowd was now fully captivated, on the edge of their seats. The idea of a man like Musk, who had seemingly conquered the heights of Silicon Valley, pivoting so dramatically in his allegiance, was enough to shake the foundations of the tech world. But Musk was no stranger to disruption. "As much as I've achieved in the U.S., there's something I've come to understand," Elon continued. "The U.S. accepted me because of my wealth, because of my potential to contribute to their economy. But what happens to those who come from nothing? What happens to those whose brilliance and talent are stifled by circumstances? I want to change that. I want to make sure Africa has the same opportunities one had, if not more. I want to see Africa become the next hub of innovation, the next Silicon Valley." He paused for a moment, letting the weight of his words sink in. "I've always believed in the power of innovation to transform lives, to break barriers, to create opportunities. But what if we focused that power not just on the established nations of the world, but on the continents that have long been overlooked? What if we invested not just in companies, but in the people who have the potential to create those companies, to lead those revolutions?" Musk's eyes flickered with an intensity that seemed to pierce through the crowd, his mind clearly racing ahead to his next steps. The resources are there. The people are there. The hunger for change is there. Africa is the future, and I'm going to be a part of that future. From this moment on, my mission is clear. I will work to transform Africa, to empower its people, to help them rise to their fullest potential. And I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. The crowd erupted into applause, a mix of admiration, shock, and disbelief. Some were skeptical. After all, Musk had made promises before. Others were inspired, excited by the possibility of such a monumental shift. Musk had made it clear, this wasn't just a philanthropic gesture. This was a call to arms, a challenge to the world to rethink its priorities. Musk's decision wasn't born out of a sudden sense of guilt or disillusionment with the United States, though. It was the result of years of reflection, of experiences that had shaped his worldview. His visits to Africa had opened his eyes to the continent's untapped potential. He had seen firsthand the innovative spirit alive in the hearts of young Africans, the ingenuity and resilience that rivaled any Silicon Valley startup. Yet he also saw the barriers they faced, the lack of infrastructure, the limited access to resources, the political instability in certain regions. And that was when the idea began to take root in his mind. What if Africa could be the new frontier of innovation, a place where the most groundbreaking technologies could be born not in the comfort of well-established nations, but in the face of adversity? Musk knew that it wouldn't be easy. Transforming Africa into the world's next great technological hub would require a complete shift in thinking, both within the continent and across the globe. It would require investments in education, infrastructure, and business ecosystems. It would mean working alongside African governments, businesses, and innovators to create an environment where creativity could thrive. But he was ready. I've built companies in the U.S. I've helped shape industries that have defined the 21st century. But I know that my real legacy won't be defined by the companies I've built here. It will be defined by the future I helped create in Africa, he said, his voice now brimming with purpose. The world is watching, and I want Africa to rise to its full potential. It's time for a new era, and I'm ready to be a part of it. His declaration sent shockwaves through the media, sparking debates, articles, and interviews around the world. People were asking, could Elon Musk truly make a difference in Africa? Would his influence and wealth be enough to bring about the transformation he promised? Musk knew the road ahead would be filled with challenges. But he wasn't afraid of challenges. They were part of his DNA. He had faced them before, from building rockets that defied the odds to launching electric cars that seemed impossible. He had always been the one to go where others feared to tread. And now, he was taking that same boldness to Africa. It wasn't just about bringing technology to the continent. It was about fostering an environment where the African people could drive their own progress, where they could build their own futures without relying on external powers. Musk believed that Africa's greatest strength lay not in its resources, but in its people, its youth, its innovators, its dreamers. As the news spread, reactions were mixed. Some applauded Musk for his bold stance, seeing him as a visionary with the power to create real change. Others, however, saw his decision as a publicity stunt, a way to remain in the spotlight and gain even more influence. But Musk was undeterred. I know what people are saying, he admitted in a follow-up interview. They're skeptical. They're questioning my motives. But let me tell you something. I've spent enough time in Africa to know that this is real. This isn't about me, it's about them. It's about all the brilliant minds who are waiting for the chance to make a difference. It's about building a future where innovation knows no borders, where talent isn't limited by geography. His words resonated deeply with many, especially young Africans who saw in Musk a kindred spirit, someone who had come from humble beginnings and had fought to make his dreams a reality. They saw in him a champion for the continent, someone who believed in their potential even when the rest of the world overlooked them. And so, as Musk's journey took him to Africa, a new chapter began, not just in his life, but in the lives of countless people across the continent. His vow to work for Africa was not just a promise to invest in its future, but a challenge to the rest of the world to do the same. Elon Musk had made his choice, and with that choice, he had sparked a movement that would echo for generations to come, a movement that would redefine the global balance of power, and one that would reshape the future of Africa forever. Now it's your turn. What do you think of Musk's bold decision? Do you believe Africa has the potential to become the next global hub of innovation? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more thought-provoking discussions and exciting developments. The future is unfolding before our eyes, and you're part of it.